After watching this video, you'll never pick a bland cantaloupe again. Have you ever brought home a melon that looked perfect on the outside, only to find it dry or flavorless inside? You're not alone, and the truth is, most people miss a few simple signs when choosing. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what to look for, so you can choose a sweet, juicy cantaloupe every single time. Stay with me, because the difference is easier to spot than you think. Let's start with the most important clue, the skin. The outer rind of a cantaloupe can tell you almost everything you need to know before you even pick it up. Imagine you're standing in front of two melons. At first glance, they might look similar, but a closer look reveals major differences. Now focus on the netting, the web-like pattern that covers the rind. On a ripe and flavorful melon, these netted lines are thick, raised, and clearly defined. You can actually feel the texture under your fingers. That is a strong sign the fruit is mature and has developed its natural sweetness. In comparison, the second melon has faint and shallow netting that blends into the surface. It feels much smoother to the touch. This usually means the fruit was picked too early. It is underripe and likely lacking in flavor. Next, compare the background color beneath that netting. The first melon has a warm beige tone with hints of golden yellow. That subtle yellowing tells you it ripened naturally on the vine. It is ready to eat and full of juicy flavor. But take a look at the second melon. The skin underneath is still greenish, almost like a cucumber. That is a clear sign it has not fully ripened. Even if the netting looks decent, that green tone means you are probably looking at a bland and firm fruit. So remember this, bold and raised netting with a creamy beige background is what you want. Avoid the smooth and greenish ones no matter how perfect they seem from a distance. These small visual details make all the difference between a dry disappointment and a delicious cantaloupe worth savoring. Now let's move on to another simple but powerful test, pressing the blossom end of the cantaloupe. That's the spot directly opposite the stem, also known as the flower end. Gently press your thumb into that area. What you're feeling for is just a little bit of give. If it feels slightly soft with a bit of bounce, that's a great sign. It means the melon is ripe and ready to eat. The flesh inside has softened just enough to become juicy and sweet. Now try pressing the second melon. This one feels rock hard with no give at all. That means it was picked too early. The fruit inside is still firm and not fully developed in flavor. It may look fine from the outside, but it will probably taste bland and dry. But be careful. If you press the flower end and it feels too soft or mushy, that is not a good sign either. A melon that is overly soft could be overripe or even starting to spoil inside. The texture might be watery or stringy, and the flavor could be off. So what you want is a balance. Not too hard, not too soft. Just a gentle springiness under your thumb. It takes only a second to check, but it can save you from picking the wrong fruit. This quick pressure test, combined with what you learned about the skin, brings you much closer to choosing a cantaloupe that is perfectly ripe, full of flavor, and ready to enjoy. Next, let's talk about something you can feel the moment you pick up the melon, its weight. When you lift a good cantaloupe, it should feel heavy for its size. That extra weight is a sign the fruit is full of juice, and the flesh inside is dense and well developed. A ripe, juicy melon always feels a little heavier than you'd expect. Now pick up a second melon that's about the same size. If it feels noticeably lighter, that's a red flag. A light melon can mean the inside is dry or hollow. Maybe it did not get enough time to grow properly on the vine, or it has started to lose moisture. Either way, the texture and flavor probably will not meet your expectations. Think of it like this. A heavy cantaloupe means tightly packed flesh and plenty of natural juice. A light one often means the opposite, a spongy or airy interior that lacks sweetness. So when you're at the store or market, take a second to compare two similar-looking melons. The one that feels heavier in your hand is usually the better choice. It is a small detail, but it tells you a lot about what is going on inside the fruit. Pair this with what you've already learned about the skin and the blossom end, and you are now 3 steps closer to picking the perfect cantaloupe every single time. Another detail that many people overlook is the condition of the stem, or more specifically, the freshness of the stem that's still attached to the melon. A fresh stem is a strong sign of a high-quality cantaloupe. First, look at the color. A good stem will be light green or greenish yellow. This means the melon was recently harvested and is still in its prime. Touch the stem and feel its texture. It should be slightly moist, not dry or brittle. When you gently squeeze it between your fingers, it should feel soft and flexible, not stiff or crumbly. Now look closely at the area around the stem. If you notice tiny cracks or even a slight split that forms a ring around the base, that is a great sign. These small lines suggest the melon ripened fully on the vine and is likely to be very sweet and juicy. On the other hand, if the stem looks dry, shriveled, or brown, it might be a sign the melon has been sitting around for too long. A dried out stem will often feel hard and snap easily when pressed. The fruit inside may have lost moisture, become mushy, or even started to lose its natural sweetness. In short, a fresh and flexible stem means a freshly picked melon that is still full of flavor. A dry and lifeless stem often points to a cantaloupe past its best. Always check the stem. It can quietly reveal a lot about the fruit's freshness and quality. Let's finish with one of the simplest and most trusted signs of ripeness, the smell. Take the cantaloupe and gently sniff the stem end, where it was once attached to the vine. A ripe melon will have a sweet, fruity aroma right at that spot. The scent should be light but clear, a natural hint that the fruit is full of flavor and ready to enjoy. If you do not notice any scent at all, chances are the melon is still underripe. Even if it looks perfect, the lack of aroma usually means the sweetness inside has not fully developed. Now, if the smell is too strong, sharp, or starts to remind you of alcohol or fermentation, that can be a sign the melon is overripe or beginning to spoil. The flesh inside may be mushy or sour, and the taste will not be pleasant. So always take a moment to smell the stem end. A gentle, sweet fragrance means you are holding a cantaloupe at its peak ripeness just right for slicing and serving. Beyond its sweet and refreshing taste, cantaloupe is also packed with impressive nutrition. It's an excellent source of vitamin C, which helps boost your immune system and supports healthy skin. Just 1 cup of cantaloupe can provide over 100% of your daily vitamin C needs. It also contains vitamin A in the form of beta-carotene, which is great for your eyes and skin. Plus, cantaloupe is low in calories and high in water content, making it a perfect fruit for hydration, especially on hot days. You'll also get a small dose of fiber, potassium, and antioxidants, all of which support heart health and digestion. So when you pick a good melon, you're not just choosing great flavor, you're also giving your body a healthy, natural boost. Now you know exactly how to pick a sweet, juicy cantaloupe every time, from checking the skin and stem to feeling the weight and smelling the aroma. These simple tips take just a few seconds, but they can make a big difference in taste and quality. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more easy and practical tips just like this. Got your own method for choosing melons? Share it in the comments, we'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching and happy melon picking.